Okay. I am plugging in my headphones. What's up, guys? I see there's some lurkers in here. Okay. I'm gonna pull up some reference. gonna see what we can do. Yo, what's up, Joe? All right, I'm gonna work on, let me pop over here to my work screen. Xander! Hey, hey! What's up, friend? It's good to see ya. I am going to work on the Thrawn illustration, unless you would like to request a character. And Stony! Stony's here! Can't stay long, but wanted to say hi. Well, hello. It is wonderful to see you. I'm taking requests, Stony, so even if you're not going to be here, you're more than welcome to throw out a couple of pop culture characters you like, if you have like a favorite video game character or a favorite anime character or whatever, because if I end up sketching something you suggested, I'll tag you on Instagram. But it's good to see you. Okay. So this is what we did last night on the stream. We did the first episode of Who's That Popsicle? And I created this. Candace suggested Jigglypuff, and Megalot suggested Psyduck, so we did these two. Crash Bandicoot! Oh my god! Stony, can I just say that I love you? Can I just say that you are precious and lovely and fabulous, and I like you a lot? Okay, alright, let me pull up some Crash Bandicoot reference. This is gonna be great! Your pins, not your pins, all pins. Oh no! We're in danger! I have not played or enjoyed Crash Bandicoot in so long, but I used to just freaking love playing Crash. You love me back? Oh great, oh good. Alright, I'm gonna start a new file. Let's see, new, and let's do, I want to do, you know what I want to do is I don't want to do a square, but I do want to make sure that if I choose not a square, that it's at least the resolution or the ratio for Instagram portrait. So let's say Instagram portrait size or dimensions. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's 1080 by 1350, so we're gonna do like, let's go new. This is what I like to do, guys, by the way, just as a suggestion, and I don't know if you've done this already, or if this is something that you employ, but I don't like to paint at the resolution for social media because they're always very, very small. But if I go and do, let's do 1080 by 1350, in the portrait orientation, 300 resolution, boom, and I make it, then I can just go Control-Alt-I, which opens my image size, and with it locked, I'll just duplicate one of these. So we can do 27, or not duplicate, just double it. So now it's twice the size, but it's the proper ratio. So anything I paint, I'm gonna have a little bit more room to mess around as far as illustration goes, and then when it gets compressed for Instagram, it'll still be the right size and shape and yada yada yada. So me neither, but I have all of them. Yeah, it's been forever. I haven't played it since I was a kid, but it was like one of my favorites. Didn't they come out with a new Bandicoot recently, or like a remastered one? I know they came out with the Spyro, and I'm a big Spyro fan. But yeah, I definitely used to jam on it. when I was a kid. Okay, I'm gonna do a terrifying Crash. It's gonna have all of Crash's, like, his drama, you know, his attitude and stuff, but it's gonna be, like, semi-real, like, hyper-real, with, like, teeth and stuff, and, like, scary, you know? So, yeah, so it could be played on PS4, I think. Gotcha. That's what I thought I heard. Okay. Let's do... like, his head. And we're gonna make him, like, horrifying. You know what I'm gonna do, too? So, I just, like, really, casually added stuff to my overlay today, just so that I have something on the screen and not just a full capture. And I'm gonna do some fancier stuff. I just haven't been bothered. But I'm gonna duplicate this, and since we're doing Crash, we're gonna throw this right here, and I'm gonna write Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot. Pretty sure that's how you spell that, yeah. Done. Boom. Okay. So, I'm gonna shrink this down just a little bit, because I want a little bit more of his bandicootness in the frame. A little more bandicootness. I'm gonna give him, like, these shoulders, and he's gonna be, like, you know, because Crash Bandicoot is, like, skinny strong, right? Crash is, like, he's, like, skinny ripped. He's got crack muscles. He's got... I get nervous when I make certain jokes, because I would never on Adobe Live. I would never. Let's do, like, his claw. His claws will be, like, cool. Okay, that's, like, a pretty good scribble of Crash. We could even do slightly smaller, just so we can get a little bit more in the frame. This is gonna be sick. Oh yeah. You're a genius, Stony. Okay, let me get his ears down. So he's gonna have, like, rips in his ears for sure, and he's also gonna have a gold ring in his ear, because no one can stop me. And he's gonna have, like, his mohawk. Yeah, let me go ahead and flip this canvas horizontal. Well, they're almost gonna be, like, I know that he's a, holy shit, what is he? What is Crash? He's not a raccoon. Is he a meerkat? What is Crash Bandicoot? I don't know what he is. Do you guys know what he is? Hold on. What animal is Crash Bandicoot? Oh, he's a bandicoot. A bandicoot is an animal. You're kidding me. I thought a bandicoot was a made-up sound for a game. I thought bandicoot was a sound. Okay, good to know. Cool. Yeah. You learn something new every day. He's gonna have like these big honking ribs, you know, and he'll be hunched over. Get his little belly bee in there. Little belly bee. And he'll have like that arched, like hooked kind of, you know, vibe to him. He's kind of like hunched over. We'll have like a little bit of his fur. This is gonna be like a fucking werewolf bandicoot, dude. A real bandicoot? It's so underwhelming, Stony. Trust me. I looked it up and just now, and it's, look here. I'll show you. This is what he is. I hate it. It's a big rat, and it's like not even a cute rat. It's terrifying. I don't like it. I wish I wouldn't have looked, to be perfectly honest. I didn't need it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to liquefy. We'll duplicate this. You know what? I really have been using liquefy a lot for just like correcting my weird sketches. I do it a lot in Fresco, like all the time. And I'm realizing like I really should be doing it in Photoshop too. Like just to move things around. Cause why not? It's so easy just to change things with the liquefy, just to reposition and make it a little bit better. And so yeah, see now it's like he is leaned forward kinda, where here he was like sat back, but now he's leaned forward. And I might even rotate just like that, you know, just to kind of give him a little more. And that's perfect. Now I got my sketch. Yeah, it looks nothing like Crash, but at least it's a marsupial. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Marsupials are strange little guys. I like them. You know, did you guys know that possums are marsupials? Very weird. Possums are the strangest of little guys. I dislike possums more than I dislike raccoons. Because raccoons at least will pretend to be nice, and you could maybe form some kind of strange, begrudging friendship with a raccoon. You cannot form a friendship with a possum. I don't know about, like, the possums from Australia. I just assume that any animal from Australia is an asshole, but the possums here in Northern California are horrifying. They suck. Okay. Let's... Yeah, but raccoons are scarier. It's because it's the hands. It's the hands, you know? It's the hands, and they're really, really, really smart. Uncommonly smart. Okay, that's my first random squiggly sketch. Okay. It's got to be better than this, though. It's got to be a whole lot better than this. It's got to be, what's it got to be? It's got to be like more here. And honestly, like, if you are struggling in your sketch phase, just like breaking stuff down to the bare minimum, like the base form, is so good. It's one of the best things you can do, honestly. It's just like doing this and kind of just breaking that down totally, so that you can visualize how that's gonna look. Like, because his neck, I need to make sure that I am getting this neck in here, because this is like anthropomorphic, but it's not totally human, so I'm gonna have to make up a lot of shit here as I go. That's fine, but I don't like where it sits on his body, so his head is gonna have to come up, and if his head comes up, his ears are gonna have to go out. So we're gonna put this like right here, and then we're going to select all of this and make it smaller. So I also, something that I do constantly is like, I go to Illustrate, and I never leave myself enough room to breathe. Ever. I never leave myself enough room to breathe so that I can, like, actually sketch what I'm looking to sketch. Becca! What's up, Bex? What's going on? Stony just requested a Crash Bandicoot. So we're gonna do, like, the world's most terrifying Bandicoot. He's gonna be like Wendigo Bandicoot, or like Werewolf Bandicoot. It's gonna be dope. And he's gonna have a piercing. Val, I'm always afraid I don't know who you don't know who I am in chat because I have too many versions of my name. Well, just honestly, your "This is Bex" was perfect. That'll do it. I'm always so impressed with your sketching phases and how your final piece turns out. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do, because my sketching phase, as I've said many times, is it's the part of my process that I am the most self-conscious of. I always get like really like, people are gonna see it, you know, like I get really nervous about it and stuff, but the more you just do it, the better, the easier it gets. I also think, you know, where sketching and stuff is concerned, I think that I spent a lot of years never following through because I was so unsatisfied with my sketches. And so it took me a lot of years to learn to trust the process, to get it from like this shit to like a final piece. Because you know that feeling, I'm sure you guys know that feeling where you're like, you're sketching and you're like, God, this is awful. You know, like, you're like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and like having that feeling about your art, it's really hard to like press on, you know? And it wasn't until like I really buckled down and was like, I'm not giving up on this. I'm gonna find that comfortable, happy place and like get into finishing, that I finally was like, okay, I can finish a piece, and it looked like shit, you know, when I started it. So that means that even if all of my future paintings kind of look like shit as I start chipping away at it, I have a fair amount of confidence that it's not ruined just because it looks like a wreck in the beginning. You know, so you kind of, you know, you achieve something once and you can kind of force yourself to believe it's possible for future things. But it was a long time before I also was like, okay, my sketches are ugly and that's okay because they can be finished and turned into something great. I don't like his arms. He's just like this. Crash. Crash Boombacoot. Crash McArms. I love the beady eyes. I do know US Bex, yes. I didn't get to take art but a semester in high school, so it's interesting the way you did it. You do it. Yeah, you know, I never got to take art in school either. Honestly, I took I was in the marching band for my electives. I wanted to be in band, so I did marching band stuff. And when I did go to college briefly, though not for art. The only art classes I took were ceramics. So I don't, aside from like Adobe Live training, like watching Kyle T. Webster and then watching people on YouTube and stuff, that's the only training that I've had when it comes to art. And I've spent a lot of time like trying to force myself to sketch like other people, and sometimes my brain just doesn't understand how other people do certain things. Like, and so you kind of, there are good ways of doing things, for sure, but I think that sometimes you kind of just gotta like listen to how your brain organizes stuff and see if trying something a different way would work for you. That's what I did. And sometimes I get tripped up because I think there are other ways to do certain things that people have devised that would work well if I put the time into learning them, but then I think I'm not going to do that. You were in choir? Me too! Oh! Me too! Yeah, I was in choir and marching band for... I was in band longer than anything, but choir was something I picked up my freshman year of high school, I think, was when I started doing that. I used to like to sing all the time, actually. That's what I wanted to be, a singer for a time when I was younger. I wish I could sing. I totally lost my acting, or my singing chops. I used to sing all the time. I used to do like singing competitions and stuff, and I think that I was a good singer, but I fell off the wagon for a lot of years, and then now when I try to sing, it feels like I'm trying to sketch for the first time, and I don't know how to trust the process and get better at singing again. I took singing lessons as a hobby during COVID. I suck at singing, but I love singing. That's awesome, dude. I've been thinking that I might really like to take singing lessons just to try again and see if I was actually any good. There's something about this that I hate. I think that there's no, hold on, this is what it is. The problem is that, first of all, we're gonna hunch him over like this. It looks as if, like the way I've suggested this form is that like his legs both go like this, but his leg is gonna have to go up this, and this leg's gonna have to come down like that. So I'm gonna have to kind of suggest that a little bit. And then also, the body is good, the body works, but the head and the shoulders are weird. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate that and merge one. We're gonna have to take this head and we're gonna play with this. Crash's head is like massive, but I don't know if we should do that. Let's do something like that. Let's kind of bump it up. Maybe over here. And then I'm gonna have to take these arms. Never be afraid to hack your own painting to pieces. Sometimes it's what it needs. And if you get too attached to your sketch, you're screwed because you're not allowing yourself to grow or breathe from the initial sketch. And the purpose of that sketch is to be a sketch, to be like a suggestion, a placeholder, a concept. But if you trap yourself into your sketch too deeply, then like it's kind of lost its purpose, right? What do you play? I had grade school clarinet phase. I played the saxophone, alto saxophone, longer than anything else, and then the fingerings for saxophone are the same as the fingerings for the flute. So I played flute and piccolo once I got into marching band. I didn't like to march with the sax because I was really small, and it was difficult to march with a larger instrument. But I had a piccolo. And then I had I had the flute, the C flute, and I would play the flute in marching band. And then when I had my piccolo part in some of the marches we did, I had my piccolo shoved down the front of my uniform, so I could like dismantle my flute while we marched down the street and shove it in the deep pocket of the uniform, and then reach up the front of my shirt and pull out the piccolo and play the piccolo. Spent 5 hours last night trying to fix some old paintings for a dumb TikTok reel. Well, let me know if you need any help, Bex. I'm happy to help. I know that, I mean, this is, you don't have to if you don't want, because I know how it feels to like feel like you are struggling with something, but you've already posted it, so I don't want to offer any feedback on something you've already posted if you don't specifically want feedback. But if you'd like to show it to me, I would be happy to demo right now if you want some feedback on it. And I can't guarantee that I can help you fix whatever you're worried about, but I will give it a go. I always wanted to play the flute, but I never got one. It's fun. I haven't played in years. I still have them though. I should pull it out. I still have like my music and everything from high school. But I started playing the saxophone in 3rd grade. And then I played, what happened was my saxophone broke and I had to get it repaired, and it took forever to get it repaired. So I stopped playing the saxophone in high school, because the beginning of my freshman year it still wasn't repaired. So I picked up the flute, and then I realized like, oh, I like this. And we didn't have marching band in middle school. We had it in high school though. So when I realized I was gonna need to march and move around and stuff, I was like, oh, you know, I'll keep the flute, because the flute really lends itself to this. And then I didn't really play the sax much after that, because I just kind of started liking the flute a lot more. Okay, he's starting to look pretty scary. What I want to do is grab this, though. Kind of give it some length. It was more for entertainment, so I think I'm just going to move on. I can see the mistakes, and I think I've just spent too long trying to fix when I should move on. That's a really, really great thought process to have. And I kind of feel, I kind of sensed it a little bit, which is why I wanted to make sure I reiterated, like, you do not have to send me your art. But in the future, the offer still stands for any of you guys. I know that feeling where sometimes you're just kind of like, this is done. This is over with. It's done. I'm not doing it again. I'm not messing with it more. I'm through. It's a hard decision to make about your work sometimes, where you're like, I'm putting the pen down. Okay. I feel like we should put the mask. You know? You know, like put the... Just have him kind of hovering right there. Val, what do you use to edit your Insta Reels and stuff? I use Adobe Rush and Adobe Express Beta, honestly. I don't like to use anything else, honestly. The big programs scare me a little bit. I don't have time to dive into like learning Premiere Pro and all that kind of stuff. I've picked up some things along the road just because I've modded or hosted so many people who use Premiere Pro on Adobe Live, and every once in a while I do open it up. For example, I opened it up when I wanted to make those reels recently where like I had the Pedro Pascal stuff green screened on to it because I can color key or ultra key it in Premiere Pro. But for everything else, I'm literally just using stuff that I can access mobily on my iPad. I don't need anything big and fancy most of the time, and I hate editing videos. I hate editing videos. I can't stand it, so your girl uses like the bare minimum to do it, but you know what? The bare minimum is acceptable and it works. How did you get that green screen? That's exactly what, so I used here, write this down. When you find the green screen footage, you can actually find them, like you can download them online or people post them on YouTube for free or whatever. You want to bring it into Premiere Pro. You could download a trial and do this if you need to. And you want to put like the video in and then put the green screen footage on top of it. And then you want to go into effects and find Ultra Key. I believe that's what it's called. I'm gonna Google it real quick just to make sure. Premiere Ultra Key. So there's a lot of different keys that you can do. Chroma key or color key is also in there. Yeah, this is it. This is Ultra Key. Chroma key or color key is also in there, and that's basically like what you can use. Like I use it on the live stream. When you guys see me or anybody else on Adobe Live or with the background removed, that's like using the green screen to chroma key out that green color. Ultra Key is incredible because that Ultra Key setting is like the chroma key on steroids. Like it chroma keys out around my curls when my hair is loose and like diffused, big and crazy. It chroma keys perfectly around all of my hair. The teeny tiny details is perfect. It's very crispy. So all you have to do is just grab that chroma key or that Ultra Key and drag it and just drop it onto the footage that has it. And you might have to go into the effects panel and eyedrop. You want to eyedrop the color of the green that is in the footage that you have, and it'll remove every single bit of color that chroma key is in the background. And I feel like it's got to be smart in some way, because it doesn't remove anything, like it removes all related colors, so it gets everything out of the background, but it doesn't destroy the quality of the actual stuff you want to key around. So it's perfect. And the green screen of Pedro came from like YouTube. Yeah, no, don't apologize. Don't apologize. In fact, I think I downloaded it because, let me find, I'm going to actually find the video and I'm going to link it to you so that you can have it. Because it took me hours and hours and hours to find the footage of it, and I was pissed. I think I found it on YouTube, and then that person had like a website where they put all of them for download. Yeah. Okay, free green screens. Here, look it. It's all the memes. It's all the fucking memes right there. You got like the fucking cats. It's got black cat zoning out. Here you go. There's the black cat. Where's fucking Pedro? You can find it. I just found it, so it's on there. But there you go. So all you do is you take that and you put it in there with the chroma key, and you drag that ultra key effect to that clip, and then you go over into the effects panel and you use the eyedropper and make sure you eyedrop that green color that's in the back, and it'll be perfect. No problem. It took me so long to find someplace. And I think it had like it says free green screens here. I assume this is where everybody's getting them. It always makes me feel a little odd though, because I'm like, am I supposed to take them? Am I supposed to, but this is, I don't know if this is exactly the same place I got mine. I went to one that had like a video in, like, or a link to a place where you can like buy the videos or download the videos for free. To me, this seems like where people are downloading these for free. That's what this seems like to me. I am, to protect myself and to protect you, I'm gonna say I do not 100% know if it is true. But, wink wonk, I think this is probably what this is for. It says subscribe and get free green screens. I'm subscribing. And there's all the stuff. But it's really fucking hard to find all this shit on the internet. Yeah, take a look, and make the decision for yourself, but I've used a couple of them. I honestly don't see how one of like several thousand different green screen channels on YouTube could claim that like the video of a cat that isn't theirs in the first place is like not allowed to be used by other people, when there's literally millions and millions of videos using the black cat zoning out. It's kind of a weird thing. Because I think there's probably like 10,000 accounts like this that have the green screen stuff. But yeah, anyways. Internet's a weird place. Be careful. Okay. This is a pretty cool, like, stance, I think. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, there's like 10,000 of these accounts, and they all have, like, the video of the fucking Pedro Pascal eating the sandwich. But you know what? If anybody owns it, it's Pedro. And I think Pedro thinks we're funny. He said so. So, I don't, I'm not worried about it. Okay, I'm gonna start throwing in some values here. We're gonna make this cool. Also, I think, like, just a side note, I think you're pretty safe using these ones, mainly because it does say free green screens in the banner, and then I just did, like, my due diligence to try and, like, look and see if you have to buy them, and I don't think there's any place... Oh, I guess there is a link here where you can buy certain things. But I don't see... What the fuck? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, they're just download links. It doesn't have a price on it. It's just like, would you like to download it? Let me check. Yep, you just download it for free in that link. So if you go to the About section, you might want to check, like double check and like put it into that one Google thing that's like, is this a safe link? And I think that if you're fine with that, then all the download links specifically for all of them are on that link called HD videos. But check the link. Check that. So I don't get an email that's like, you gave me viruses on my computer. Val, I can post my dumb TikTok in the Discord for the lulz, though, Val, if you want. Hell yeah, I want to see your TikTok. Fuck yeah, post it. I think I have a channel. I think I have a channel in the Discord that's like specifically for like share your stuff with me. This is my Discord from Twitch, by the way. From back in the day. So there's like, I think there's like 400 people in there, but I think all of them are sleeping because I haven't used it in forever. But just so you know, anybody that knows me from Behance before Twitch, if everybody in that Discord starts waking up, please keep in mind that is the Wild West from my meme days. And you might encounter some weird ass people in there. Just, you know, just a heads up. You might encounter some strange characters in that place. Yeah, I just now realized, because it's the first time I'm opening up that Discord on my desktop and not my phone, and there's still a name, like a role for people called Valginas. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff. The Discord is how I get my notifications. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that was still in there. I might have to change that. I might take that down. It's been like 5 years. I didn't know. But let's see. Yeah, there's an art sharing. There's an art sharing Discord. If you want to throw that in there, and I'll go look at it. Back in my day, when I was a meme lord, we used to get up to some funny business in the Discord. Then I became a professional. Now I pretend like I never did those things. I feel like people know, though. I don't think I give off the vibes like I'm not a funny little guy, right? I don't think. Right, guys? Right, chat? I think I seem like a weird little goblin, even in a professional setting. I'm sure it shocks nobody. I was going to say there's some boobage in my art, so I'll post it and not safe for art. If there's no new, if there's not like specifically like nipples and genitals, you can post like cleavage and titties in the regular art share. That's fine. It was just like there. So we made the not safe for work. We made the not safe for work one because there's a couple not safe for work artists that frequent the Discord, and so I wanted to make sure that there was a space for everybody's creativity. So I did create it. Not everybody follows the rules, but for the most part, it's kept separate. But I myself am an illustrator of Big Titty, so that's fine. That's regular art to me. No problem. I like your professional and informal self. Awesome, thank you. That's kind of a nerve-wracking thing, just like for me personally, because I like to joke around and make memes, you know. But I'll be honest, I wasn't exactly sure like how things would be, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stream now, and I'm gonna be myself when I stream. I'm a bad liar. I'm not a skilled liar. I never have been. I tried when I was younger. It turns out, I think everybody tries when they're younger, you know? It turns out I'm abysmal at fibbing. So I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna stream. I'm not gonna be able to, like, on my personal stream, pretend not to be a strange person that's here for the lols. So this is gonna be interesting to see, like, people who know of me from Adobe Live first are gonna be like, whoa, I hate you. I hate that. I actually haven't seen any professional Val before. I've only seen these YouTube and the old Twitch streams. Oh, Xander! I teach like formal classes and stuff over on Behance. Here, I'll give you a link. So if you're looking to learn graphic design or digital illustration, I am over here on Adobe Live, and I have a bi-weekly show that I do called Create Tips, and I also am a guest every once in a while. I teach illustration, and then I host other creatives while they teach their segments and stuff, and I actually will be teaching a class. I've got 2 streams next week. So Tuesday, my show Create Tips will be on, and I'm doing an episode about how to show your community that you are taking work for new services. Like, you've honed a new skill, and now you want to show the world that you can take work creatively for this thing. So I'm going to be creating a showcase that, like a carousel post you could post on Instagram to let everybody know that you're open and available for work in this new area. And then I will also be hosting Alex Haig, I think, on Thursday, and he's going to be doing some parallax animations in Premiere Pro and walking through that process. Twitch Discord link, it should be in the description of the video. Is that accessible? Is that easily accessible to you? Like, because I put all the links in the area, in the description, but I think, yeah. If you click the show more, there should be my website, my Instagram, my print shop, and my Discord. Yeah, and then Bex is a friend from Behance. From Behance. So, yeah. Kind of nifty. I'm fucking up these arms. I am. I really am. I'm wrecking these arms. I'm just gonna use a big brush. I should have used a big brush in the first place. As I make them small again. This should be bigger, except never mind. This is fine. And I'm also gonna throw some scribbles here because we're gonna put like his big arm. It's gonna have like claws. And this arm will just kind of continue off camera a little bit. And then we'll put the Ooga Booga mask there as well. I feel like I'm gonna bring his crotch all the way down because he should be a little bigger. No problem. No problem. I can also post, I don't know if you're watching on mobile too, and maybe mobile, it's difficult to do that, but that should, I think that should open. Something's wrong here. What? Why did it post two things? It screwed up that link. There. I don't know why that first one happened that way. There we go. There you go. I have all of my old rules posted. That's the first time I've looked at my rules. Nothing I can do about that right now. I might leave them. Maybe. We'll see. I might need to give my Discord an overhaul now that I'm using it. Okay, let's go ahead and bump that down to a lower opacity, and let's start to play with this a little bit, shall we? Let's make this like big scary, big cool. You won't be a butt? Okay, cool. Good. Them's the rules. I need more room, more breathing room here. Always call it Ooga Booga. I think it's Ooka Ooka. I call it Ooga Booga because it sounds like it said Ooga Booga when I was a kid. You know? We're on the same page, I think. I always have called it the Ooga Booga mask. Let's go get ready for work, boo. Alright, can't wait to see the finish later. It's always fun hanging out with you. Bye. Bye, Stony! Great to see you, friend. Have a good day at work. And if you don't, it's not your fault. I'm sorry, that was weird advice. Bex like, what are you doing? Thanks. I do work as a deli clerk, so yeah, it's not my fault. It's not! It's not! It's not your fault. I wasn't sure where you worked, but yeah, if anything fucky happens, it's not your fault. Anything that goes wrong is because somebody doesn't appreciate you. I used to be the first cashier at a grocery store in the absolute ghetto, and that was the most terrifying job I've ever had. And I did my best every day, but sometimes when it comes to working in the food industry or working customer service like that, sometimes people just do not care. And it's not your fault, and it's not my fault. All you can do is work in such a way that keeps you sane. That's it. That's it, baby. Yeah, retail. Ugh. Retail is full of unsung heroes, man. I'm gonna make his head bigger. Bye! Alright, this is starting to look like a real thing, right? Thanks. I can start to see, I'm starting to enter that mode where I can see the future of my sketch. I've hit the threshold where I'm starting to stop feeling like it's trash. I'm starting to visualize. You know what I want reference for? Like the anatomy of like a bat creature. Because the kind of ears that I want to do on this head shape is going to be sort of like that. So if I can see like how people have made bat creatures, like how the real anatomy is articulated into fiction, could probably kind of get what I'm looking for. And what I might do is end up making the ears like a little different. Even though he's apparently a bandicoot, which I refuse, honestly, to believe is a real thing. For some reason, I imagine salvation in this drawing. Salivation? Oh! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's happening. Liquid. What's up, buddy? Coming in clutch with the good ideas. Were you here earlier? Did you peek in? You did. Yeah. I think you did. Maybe that was last night, actually. That might have been last night. Did you just arrive? Balin Victor, welcome in. What's going on, man? Welcome to the Stram. We are currently, I am messing around with a sketch we've been working around on. This is going to be like a terrifying Crash Bandicoot. Because I'm taking requests today. And the way that Saturday morning cartoons goes is I typically, sometimes I do like a bunch of sketches and stuff of like, just like people's random requests. And sometimes I start with a sketch that somebody has suggested and we stay on that. This might be one of those because Stony said that we should illustrate Crash Bandicoot, and I'm not going to be able to resist, honestly. And if we're doing a Crash Bandicoot, it's going to be horrifying. So this is the beginning of that horrifying Crash Bandicoot. Been here but lurking? Awesome. So you know what the deal is. He's gonna have an ear piercing. Does Crash? I don't think Crash has any piercings. He should. He's an earring guy. Oh, true love Crash. Yeah, you know, he feels like he would have an ear piercing. You know, like a big hoop or something. He's that kind of guy. There's still something about him that isn't 100% to my liking. I attempted to stream last night, by the way. Did you really? Ooh! By attempted, do you mean you didn't end up doing it, or what platform? On Twitch, but there was some screen cap issues I need to figure out. Oh, you know, sometimes that's not uncommon, I hear. Were you trying to capture like an Adobe app or something? Sometimes you have to change up the method of screen cap. So if you can't capture the window, I seem to remember that every time I tried to capture like a Photoshop window, it never would show my cursor the way that I wanted it to, or it would show up black without or without all of the UI. And so doing a desktop capture of like your entire desktop may fix it for you. If that was your issue, that's like the first thing that comes to mind as far as known capture problems when doing like a creative stream. Yeah, I think I need to do desk capture, but I swap Photoshop between my Cintiq and my main monitor a lot, so it got really confusing. Ah, yeah. You know what I have is, I have 2 desktop captures in my scene. So I have this one for Cintiq, and then I think I have this one. Where is it? Yeah. So I have like one for over here, and then one, and I just toggle it on and off so I can switch easy that way. Yeah, you could do like a separate scene too for it. You know, like I have this one, and then I have like the BRB screen and whatever, and you could just duplicate this workspace and have an identical one, but instead of the Cintiq, you have the other desktop in there, so you can just flip back and forth. That's another way that you could do it. Yeah, I try to have them specifically like already set and ready to go, just invisible to viewers if I know that that's something I'll want to do, because it does take away a lot of the hassle, because it can be a pain in the ass trying to flip around and show different stuff. What are you using to stream? I'm using Streamlabs OBS. Those screens are scenes. That makes sense. Yeah, so I have like the This is like a named, at least in Streamlabs, you can see here. Let me show you. It's going to be a little bit of streamception. It's going to be a little awkward. Oh no, I could just do it like this. Here, I'll show this much of it. Does that work? Yeah. So I have like, it's not organized in here, but you can see I have different captures. I have like my Cintiq, got my alert box, there's a background behind it, and I've got a bunch of stuff I should probably group, but I have like starting soon, face cam, work, BRB, ending. So I just flip, you know, goes to my BRB, come back to work and everything. So you could duplicate your workspace and then have an identical version that just has a different capture in the main region. Yeah, I have, because I've done so many, the reason why I organize it this way is because I could show you this. I've done so many streams, so this is my Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, Creative Cauldron, Lightbox Expo, Holiday Special, Creative Cloud Express, the boot camps, the pro tips, the create tips. I have all my create tip stuff in here, because I have to use different overlays for it. And if you start to do things where you want different overlays for each of your shows, it will become a massive headache. If you don't have something set up where you can access things like easily. That's my advice to you, is like kind of separating stuff out. It will help. Yes! That's what it looks like behind the scenes when I do the Adobe Live stuff. Well, I'm tired. I'm old. It's 12:30. Okay. I like this sketch. I like this sketch a lot. It needs some work though, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to kind of deconstruct it just a little bit. I'm going to say duplicate. Can I? Yeah. We're going to merge that. And then kind of what I always do, and this is, I've run into that thing I told you guys I always do, where I don't let my illustration breathe at all. I keep moving it to like the end of the canvas. What I should just do is make it really tiny like this, and then do the deconstruction. So that I stop bumping myself so far to the edge of the canvas that I can't stand it. Because I noticed that like when I paint to the edge of the canvas like that, I really start to let that size of everything like dictate what I add and do not add to my piece, and it's not good. Let's do this, and let's do this. And also, because I do that, I start to mess up the anatomy. So like my arms are weird and my hips are weird because I wasn't visualizing what's off camera very well. So his chest, we want his chest to bow out more. I'm gonna stop adding like all of that other detail that I don't need just yet. Because I like start cramming it all into the edge of the canvas, and then I'm like totally don't pay attention to like what it needs. Like his arm needs to come out. Get a little more those hackles up, and then I can let's reposition the head like right here. Oh yeah. the same thing with canvas size. Yeah, man, I box myself into place, and then I'm like, why am I not happy with my art? It's because I don't have any breathing room. Definitely want to sit his hips back. Okay. Okay. Now I can kind of decide what I want to do with this. So I'm going to duplicate it, and then we're going to see. So I could do something like this. We could zoom it in if we wanted to, but I feel like I don't know if that's going to be recognizable as Crash. So something that was, you know, the same as before, or something like that, but it's just a little bit more dynamic because I've changed the body shape. Something like this. And then that mask would be in there. I might do something like this. Is that the default brush? Yeah. So I just, if you using the default brush, I should save it a little bit more. Turn the spacing down. Turn the spacing way down. And I'm actually gonna save a new brush just so I can make sure, because I get confused, and I'm gonna call this butter. And then if you turn the flow, you could turn the flow down a little bit. But you see how like super buttery it is? For whatever reason, the flow for, and I wasn't using it with the spacing, but I have like pen pressure on it. So you can see there is some, but like when you turn the spacing down, it's way nicer. For some reason, there's a space. You like seeing some of the stomach? Like, should I bump it up even more? Like that lower stomach, right there. Do that. But yeah, just mess with the flow. Turn the smoothing on, and crank the spacing, and it's great. Yo, Odari! I resize and rearrange my characters in Fresco all the time. For some reason, I draw legs way too long. Yeah, I don't draw enough space. Like, I make my torsos, like, really short. And it drives me insane. Okay, we're gonna do that thing again, where we turn it on a lower opacity, and we start working on it. Let me pull up some good reference for this. Make sure I can still see Crash. I want to do that thing that like dogs have, like the inside of their cheek and gums kind of hangs over the jaw. Kind of like the texture with some spacing in the brush though. I'm almost thinking maybe I shouldn't have removed so much of it. Yeah, because it does give it a little bit more breathing room as far as the concentration of the paint. I think you might be right about that. I wonder if we could do like some shit like that. That could be interesting. Like some tusk teeth. Dogs barking like crazy, BRB. Story of my life, man. I'm surprised they haven't ruined one of these streams yet. I got real quiet. Focusing. feel bad for chatting too much. No, no! Don't feel bad. That's what I want. I might zone out and forget to look at chat every once in a while, but that's what I really want, is for, like, people to come in and have conversation and talk and stuff. That's my favorite part of this. If it wasn't, I'd just make art by myself, alone. Becca, come back. You can talk on my streams. I was wrong. Meow, 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 meow. Back. My pet was barking at some dude outside. I call her Homeland Security. I have one of those too, except mine's much smaller. Mine's cat size, so it's a lot less useful. Can't even get a song. Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that for you. Okay, this is really starting to turn into a face. Finally. Oh, what are you sketching? And thank you. I'm glad you like them. Now maybe you guys, because I don't, you know, when I paint on Adobe Live, I don't have the time frame necessary to like really get into all this. So now you guys can see kind of what I mean when I say like starting from a sketch or from like a base painting or something really is better for me there, and that there's other stuff that I would do if I wasn't pressed for time. I'm kind of thinking about all this business, you know. Ooh, I don't like that change. 2D art for my friend's memory game, Zodiac theme. Oh, that's amazing. Your friend is a game developer? I tried to make a game once. It's very difficult to make a game. She's trying to learn how to program, and it's her first game. Yeah, that's the boat that I was in. I ended up not finishing it, but good luck to the both of you, because if you can get that going, that's amazing. It's a dream of mine, low-key, to like make my own game. I like wrote a game and like did the concept art for it and stuff. I just like I couldn't for the life of me make my brain program. I tried so hard. I do have a lot of game dev friends, though. I work as a UI artist as my full-time job. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. I never like know how to like get connected with people who like make games, because I'd still like to do it one day. I just would definitely have to hire someone to do it, because I like planned out a whole fucking game, and I just was like, I'm gonna buckle down and do this, but you know, life happens, and you can't always dedicate your time the way you want to certain passions, and unfortunately I was not able to do that. So I was like, one of these days I'll find a programmer, but there's two things like that really keep that at bay. Like, one, I have to find a programmer. I don't have a programming buddy yet, but also like I'm not willing to like reach out to a programmer before I have the money to pay somebody to program a game fairly, you know? And I don't have that kind of money laying around, so it's in the background. It's on the back burner. I still have all my files and stuff, and one of these days I'll break them out and see if somebody wants to take me up on it. I had one programming class in college, and let me tell you, never again. Yeah, it's just not for me. I'm too this to... Could draw you a programmer, but I can't be one for you. Now I just recruit my friends to make games so I can do the art. That's amazing. He's looking so badass. Thanks! I feel like his face just evolved into the echo of its eventual final form. And it's like a lot of stuff that I don't pay attention to as much as I should is like how does his ear connect into his head? Where does it connect into his head? I gotta make sure that all looks the way that it's supposed to. Hair flip demo. I was struggling with that last night. Oh my gosh. It's one of the hardest hairstyles for me personally to draw, but also the one that I want to draw the most, you know? Because Thrawn has, you know, kind of not a hair flip, but just like his sleek hair combed over, kind of, and I'm like, I want to draw your hair all the time, baby, but I don't know how. Every time I get it right, it's by accident. That's how I feel. You and me both, though, because I have drawn this hairline, like, 12 times since we started this. It's like a lot of perspective for a hairstyle. That's what it is. It's like it's heavy on the perspective for a hairdo. This is actually looking pretty sick. Kind of want to suggest like his teeth. In a way. I don't know. Might just do a couple because I feel like too much and it goes a little overboard. It starts to look a little more comical than I really want it. But I also want to make sure, because like a lot of people do this thing that really irks me, bugs the shit out of me, and I've done it myself, and I think that's probably why it bugs me so much. Is like they don't put this, you know, like this shadow here, so it's like the tooth is pushing against the flesh. Like it needs to have that. It needs to have a part going underneath. They typically do it when they paint like female orcs. Like they don't want to put that gum look in like what's supposed to be like a hot fantasy character. But it sucks when you don't do it because it's not like, it looks odd, because if there was a tooth coming out of the lip like that, like you would see the lips around it would be pressed in a way that shows the weight of it. And if you don't do it, then it's strange. Holy shit, I should save. My cursor's doing something weird. Why? I might have to restart my Photoshop. Hold on. Give me a sec, I'm gonna restart my Photoshop because it's doing a weird thing. I might need to update my Photoshop. Yeah, I saved real quick. Okay. I want to make sure that I get this across, like these wrinkles that I need to be in the face, like he's snarling. You know, like that definition there. I think his eyes need to be a little beadier than I was suggesting. Too, which would be cool. Yeah, the shadows behind the teeth really sell it. Looks great. Thanks. 12 Zodiac base sketches are done. Do you have, like, are there any games released that you have worked on, Bex? Also, I want to pull, like, for this to be accurately Crash, I feel like I need to pull his job, like, this out. Give him that widening. Like indie games or in your career? Either. Either. Like, could I play one? I understand the nature of the job sometimes is not everything gets used and not everything gets released, but I just think that what you do is really exciting, and it would be super cool to take a look or play something you touched. That'd be kind of neat. My last job was an arcade company, so you probably see things I worked on in any Dave & Buster's kind of place. Oh, that's amazing. I've only been to Dave & Buster's once, but it was like super freaking fun. And I was actually just thinking earlier today, I'm gonna go to San Diego soon to visit my boyfriend's family, and I want to go back to Dave & Buster's. They had there's an Injustice game. Oh no shit. New World MMO gives out collectible cards, and you design the cards. Oh, that's so freaking awesome. How fun is that? Oh, this is sick. This is sick as hell. mean, we can go. Yeah, I want to go. I want to do the Dave and Buster's thing again. I guess there's one here too in the Sac area, but it's more fun when we can go with our buddies. Oh, he's cool. This is so cool. I'm gonna do a little shoop de whoop real quick. Just to like make sure he's separated, because I do want to paint the like start adding values and stuff for the body separately from the rest of his head, so that I can get a good like painting underneath it accurately. Guess this doesn't really matter, honestly, because it's above. Yeah, so with that separate now, I'm also, you know what I'm gonna do? On a separate layer, I do this sometimes, is I'll make a shape and hide it with that selection, and then I'll layer via cut, so now this head is separate, but I have that white shape, so I'll put that in between and turn it on. So it's no different, because the background here was white, you know, but then if I merge these together, then I know for sure that it's like a solid opaque solid piece. So now, like before, it was on a lower opacity, so when I painted underneath it, it painted like you could see through it, but now if I come in, you can see it's like totally opaque, nothing transparent about it. You do that too for selections? It's so easy to just go for that, because the problem is, like, when you start separating stuff out, right, that, you know, if you've painted it on a low opacity, depending on like your painting style personally, once you separate it, you can still be painting through, and then it ruins the integrity of like what you did. But if you select that background color and do that, then you get kind of this guarantee that it's going to look exactly how it looks to you once you start, you know, painting under. Very convenient. Oh yeah. Oh, he's coming together, baby. Let me give you some shoulders, boy. Let me give you some shoulders. Is this Crash handsome? I think he's handsome. He's a handsome boy, I think. I don't know if that's like a wrong thing with me. Like every time I paint like a anthropomorphic monster man, I'm like, oh, what a handsome guy. And I used to feel weird about that until I realized that I think other people feel like that sometimes too. And honestly, I think that if other people didn't want people to think that anthropomorphic strange guys were kind of handsome, they should have curbed that at the fucking Lion King animated series. You know, the Lion King movies, all those Disney movies where, like, the animals were real people, that, it should have stopped there, you know? Yeah, it's all of our inner furries, yeah, 100%, you know, because, like, I think this is a handsome guy, I do, and I think that if that was, you know, something that people were concerned about, that, you know, why did you make me fall in love with Simba, then, you know what I mean? Why was Timon such a cool dude? You know? And if you were worried about it going forward, like, why did you make, you know, the fox from Zootopia like a regular dude you could meet at fucking GameStop? You know what I mean? So, I'm unashamed. I think he's a handsome guy. I'm not gonna do anything about it, but I think he's handsome. But I think I just think, you know, I'm just speaking my truth here, all right? I'm just speaking my truth. I actually used to work at a company that made fursuits. I've seen things. That's crazy. You know, so to be perfectly clear, I'm not a furry, okay? But I have, even though I think that, you know, there's some stuff going on there that I don't fully understand and I don't look too closely at, but I have a lot of respect for the craftsmanship of people who are furries, because I went down the rabbit hole of that Fursuit Friday hashtag on Twitter, and I was watching these people make these suits and, like, show off their fursuits that they made, right? And I saw this guy that made a fursuit that had a pulley system on the inside of it, so that when he did poses, like if he put 2 fingers up in the glove and cocked his head, the mouth would open and the tongue lolls out and the ears go into a different position. And then if he were to, like, put his hands, his fists on his hips and strike a pose, then, like, the tail goes up and the hackles raise and the ears go out sideways. Like, that's crazy. You know, to build a suit to make you into a different thing that has, like, all these gestures and stuff, and he would move, you know, in the suit so that it, like, animated him in a way. And I'm like, that's, I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter, like, what you think of, like, the furry culture or whatever. Like, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. You know, and you gotta respect the craftsmanship of somebody that can just decide that they're gonna do this. And the thing is, there are companies that make fursuits, you know, but a lot of people who are out there doing this stuff, a lot of people are doing their own custom stuff, you know, because those fursuits are really expensive. And you gotta kind of do that shit yourself in the beginning. And I think a lot of people that sell, like, custom fursuit stuff are people who had that desire for themselves, and they learned how to craft for themselves until they got so good at it that other people wanted to have what they had for their stuff. You know, a lot of people are kind of self-made, like, just, like, amazing crafters. And I think that is really awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's mind-blowing. Making sure you see the bit about me not being a furry. Yeah, same. I also am not. But I think, you know, I think furries get a bad rap. And I think that it's important to realize that that stereotype is not entirely true for everybody, I think, in the furry community, and some of these people are some of the most amazing craftspeople that I think our generation has really seen as far as that kind of thing, you know. And it's really insane, some of the stuff I see. I especially like to watch the videos of how they make the shoes and the legs, so that you can walk comfortably as a human, but on the outside of it, they look like anthropomorphic legs with, like, the curved hind foot and all that kind of stuff. Specifically, like, the girls that make the like the hooved heels that doesn't have the actual heel on it. Like, it just is created in a way where you're literally walking on like the toe, but it's perfectly balanced so that it looks like you have like fawn legs. That's incredible to me. You know, that's absolutely incredible to me. I couldn't do it, and these people have done it to suit a need, and then now they're just, the stuff that they make is absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. And I've met a lot of them now because I started, you know, tabling at conventions and things, and you see furries come through, like at the anime conventions, like people in the fursuits and stuff. And honestly, let me tell you something. I get so excited when people in fursuits come down the aisle. I get so excited because they are, like, when you meet them in person, they are some of the nicest, kindest people I've ever encountered in my life. And there is no human substitute for a guy in a fox outfit with big doe eyes stopping by your booth and glancing at your art and doing a double take only to wag his tail and say, "Oh my god, it's amazing." Like, there's like they're always so nice. They're always so sweet, so kind. They get so excited, and it's like palpable because they're in character, you know, when you meet them. And I love it. I love it. I come around the booth and give them hugs sometimes. Speaking of Space Mom at Next Sack Anime, no, not the next one, unfortunately. It's been a few Sack Animes since I've been present, and I'd like to start doing it again. But through the pandemic, I kind of fell out of practice for it, and I almost did it. I actually got a table to one of the recent ones, and then I ended up not doing it because I have to build my stock up again and stuff. I have to build my stock up, and I'd like to bring the last few Sack Animes. I haven't really brought anything new with me, you know, so I want to build some new stuff. And what I'm working towards, actually, Waffles, oh, you're revamping your Kylo costume? Well, when I do eventually get there, I need to do the same thing for mine, so we're gonna take Kylo pictures, for sure. We'll have to do, like, the whole shebang. Did you ever go, Waffles, did you ever go to dinner with us? I can't remember if you ever did. It's been a lot of years. I can't remember everybody who attended, but next time we do Sack Anime, you should come to dinner with us. I really want to do an artist alley again, but I keep not making the list. Yeah, it's hard. It's tough. But what I want to do, and Waffles specifically, because you've been to Sack Anime and you know, I don't want to do the artist alley. I want to do the indie zone. That's right there in the center of the artist alley, not the vendor side, but like the one where everybody has, it's like a 10 by 10 square foot space, and you can have like 2 tables and a bunch of stuff. And the thing is with that is, yeah, traditional, we go get ramen. Yeah, you gotta come get ramen with us, Waffles. I miss you too much. Oh, hell yeah, Bex. Let me know what you're going to, and I'll let you know if I'm going to it. I want to do the indie zone, and you have to have 80% of the work that you present as an indie tabler in the indie zone has to be original work. Can't do any fan art, can't do any stuff like that. So I kind of want to do that. Like, I want to launch at Sack Anime like my own shop, sort of, and sell like custom, like, original enamel pin designs and shirt designs and all kinds of stuff. But it's taking me a long time to like get all my designs together and really plan out what I want to do. But I want to do my own shop, and I want it to coincide with the launch of my own shop online. We were talking about that last night a little bit, of like, you know, the kind of merch that I should do. And I want to do like a tarot card deck, even though it's going to take me forever to finish it. But I want to do a tarot deck. I want to do enamel pins. I want to do sketchbooks and art supply bags and totes and all kinds of stuff. But it's like, it's a lot to prep. So it's going to take me some time. But when I do it, by God, it's going to be the spookiest shop there ever was. Oh, that sounds amazing. I prefer OC art, but feel like cons need to be fan art. That's the thing too. And my problem is that like technically you're not supposed to be doing the fan art, and I was doing the fan art because that's all the cons are. You know what I mean? Like the artist alleys, that's all there is. Is fan art. It's expected if you're going to make any money at all that you have the fan art and stuff. But it's iffy on the legality, of it. And I find that as I make my way through my career, like now, years ago I was just like doing Star Wars fan art and whatever. But now I feel like I've done official Star Wars project. It's kind of, I feel like it's in bad taste for me to like roll up to a con with my old fan art and like sell fan art. I feel like that's not chill. So I have to change up my approach to cons. There needs to be more Ari fan art at SAC Anime. Yeah, a lot of people I noticed they have a lot of the other heroes. That's the I try to do the right thing by not selling fan art, and it doesn't sell. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like nothing else sells because people are going there because they want like, fan art of like Pikachu sitting in a cappuccino cup, and it's like I do too. I buy the fan art. I want it, but it's like how, and then you get to these bigger conventions that are like, unsanctioned fan art is not allowed. You're not allowed to put it. But really what they mean is we're warning you just in case somebody tells you to take it down so we're not liable for it, because you go to the bigger cons and all those people there selling that fan art, they're not the artists. They don't have the license for it. They don't. And there are certain cons that I would really love to get into, but at sometimes the bigger the con you get to, they have like people walking the aisles taking a look, and they'll like serve you with a cease and desist right there on the floor. And then it's like, well, shit, Yeah, just to cover their asses, because fan art is at every single con. Every single con. Every single con. There's no way that you get around that. So, but then it's like, how long can I do this, and how acceptable really is it? And it's like, it makes me nervous to think, especially now, like doing an official Star Wars gig. When I got that call and I got hired for that, I realized that I had like the flower Kylo Ren in my print shop that had been there for like 8 years, and I went and removed every piece of fan art from my print shop because I just didn't know, I just didn't know. So I'm like, if I'm gonna come back to the cons, I want to come back with all original stuff and see how it does. And I'm nervous, because that's not what people typically are looking for at a convention. I managed to get a few Artist Alley booths in the past, but I think I'm way better at art now and can't get in. Yeah, it's hard. SAC Anime is the one that I've gone to the most because, and it's just been SAC Anime and like TwitchCon, and then a couple little stragglers that some of the smaller cities have a few times a year. TwitchCon was great, but I don't stream it. I don't stream on Twitch anymore, so I don't feel like I want to take somebody's slot for an artist alley when there's somebody that streams and they need to be there to meet their community and stuff. That doesn't seem right. So I'm not doing that one, but SAC Anime is easier, but SAC Anime pissed me off a little bit because there was this big huge debacle. I don't know if you heard about it, Waffles, but like they open their thing at the same time every year, and so we saved the link because it's first tables were first come first serve. So everybody signs up and you buy a table, and there's always a run for it, so that because there's people that add SAC Anime to their yearly circuit, as they come through. And what you do is you show up on time and you go to that link and you buy your thing, And when you do the checkout process, if there aren't any left, it'll say, you know, transaction canceled, there's no more left. You know, you put it on, you're on the wait list, basically. Well, we saved the link, and other people saved the link, because it's the same link every year. And so the time hit, and we went and we bought our things, and other people were mad because they felt like we got it. We always get everything, like, on time, all this shit. And so they scrapped everybody that got a table, and then they said it was going to be a raffle. They're like, we're going to raffle it now. And I think that's lame. I think that if you're not going to have a panel of judges that chooses and goes through the art for quality control for an artist alley, then it should be first come, first serve. It should not be randomized. Because I think that getting up early and showing up on time and having your stuff together and everything, those are the kinds of people that should be tabling, you know, with the exception of, like, maybe saving a bunch of tables to kind of let some new artists in, so it's not the same people every single time. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, I got up early, tons of other people got up early to, like, you know, get it together. We had our shit together, because we're like, we really want a table here, you know? And so what ended up happening was they did the raffle randomizer. There were people who had been tabling at SAC Anime for years and, like, needed that con in their circuit, like, for their living, and they didn't get in on the randomizer. And it was weird. It was a weird artist alley that year, because there were people who bought tickets to see people who were there all the time too. And then none of those people were present. It was very strange. Didn't they, like, swap to full lot? Yeah, they swapped to totally full lottery. Wish it was more of an artist or involved in process or something. I wasn't aware of, like, how impactful it was on vendors. Yeah, it was like weird that, I don't know, it frustrated me. I ended up waiting on the wait list, and that year I didn't find out that I got a table until, like, the day of, and I ran in and set up my table kind of late because somebody didn't show up. Revoking after you got accepted is like, yeah, because enough people, like, people were mad, and so they wrote in, they were like, this isn't fair, all these people, they always get stuff, and we didn't have a chance. And I'm thinking to myself, I made the sacrifice to get up early and show up on time. It's the same time every year. You know what time, you know? And if, like, you work at this time or whatever, you have somebody do it for you. You know, so that a table in your name is reserved at the right time. You know what I mean? But it seemed to me that it was people who hadn't got picked who were very upset, which, again, 100% understand, because I know how it feels to, like, apply and apply and apply and you never get it. But I don't think randomization was the right one. I think what they should have done for the success of the convention that year, because it was pretty abysmal that particular year, they should have gone down the list and grandfathered in all of the people that were huge draws for the event, and then said, at this date, at this time, we have this many tables, and they're going to be offered with this new system. But, like, you know, people who had been coming for years, buying one, and then having it all refunded, saying, no, you actually don't have it, and you have to do it this way, that sucked. Sucked. So, they kind of bummed me out for a while on that. I'll come back, though, because it's just, you know, it's, like, so close to home. But it's like knowing that they do it differently now is kind of, you know, and that's another thing too, is like when it's random, you don't know if you're gonna get it. It's a hard con to choose because not everybody's made of money. you know? And so like you get a table, and then the idea is that like, okay, I got a table, so now I'm gonna spend this money placing these orders for this merch, and I'm gonna go do X, Y, and Z. But like, if you don't know if you got a table until the day of, how are you supposed to prepare? What if you waste all that money? You know, not everybody can afford to do that. So, yeah. As you can see, I was real salty about it. I was super salty. I didn't think that was fair. This is starting to be a whole ass character. This whole area right here is fucked up though. I'm gonna fix that. What time is it? Holy shit, how long have I been streaming? Oh, I've been streaming 2.5 hours? That's a long stream. I might pause it here. I might take a pause, you know. Tomorrow's the chill stream. You know? Sunday is Sunday fun day. So what we might do is just pull this up tomorrow. Cause that's what I've been doing is like, you know, doing my other streams, and then Sunday's kind of like a catch-all for a lot of what we don't finish. So that could be what we do with this. In fact, I think that's probably a good idea because I'm starting to get hungry. I need some art fuel. And I'm happy with this. I'm very pleased. So, yep, I think that's it. I think that's it for me today, folks. This is kind of the coolest Crash Bandicoot I've ever drawn. And I can't wait to like make it. It needs a little bit of love and like certain elements, especially color and things that will make it look more recognizably like Crash Bandicoot. I also, real quick, I need to leave like a sketch note for myself is I need to put that sketch in of the mask. So I remember to do the mask, because we're gonna put that guy like kind of hovering, because that'll also make it more recognizable. Like you look at the painting and you see the mask right there, people will be like, oh shit, that's Crash. And I'd be like, yup, I know. Isn't he cool? Isn't he handsome? Okay. I love you guys. You are all great. Dope, cool to see how you flesh this out. Thank you. I've got two major paintings from these streams that I need to work on, because we gotta do this and we gotta do that Thrawn. But that Thrawn's a hefty undertaking, because I'm gonna have to paint some spaceships and shit for that one, but gotta do it. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a chill art stream. We'll do a, you know, stream for a few hours and chip away at this stuff. So until then, much love, guys. Thanks for popping in. It's good to see all of you folks. It's good talking to you guys. I'll see you later.